Hi, the Loy Machedo speaking to you from loymachedo.com. Who's Loy Machedo? Think personal branding. Okay, I'm going to give you my thoughts on a rather controversial subject. So, if you're sensitive, I suggest you don't watch this video. Okay, but if you do choose to watch this video, give me your opinion in the comment section below and tell me if I'm right or wrong. Okay, this is with regards to the death of Mahsa Amini. She is the Iranian girl, woman, 22-year-old young girl, and she was killed by the model police for her hijab. That's that cover that Muslim women have to put. In some places they say this is optional. In some places they say it's mandatory. Like for example, in Arab countries, Saudi, Iran. Okay, it's pretty mandatory. That's why if a female goes to Saudi, she has to cover. If a female goes to Iran, has to cover. Okay. So the implementation of Islam and the translation of it in Iran and Saudi say you must cover. Okay. And if you don't cover, well, the model police have their own rules. Some, in this case, they not only arrested her, but they beat her up and she died. Okay. In Saudi, also can be more or less the same. Model police can arrest you. What they do with you next, that depends. Okay. Now, you might say that, well, Loy, this is just hijab and this is, it's evil Iran. It's evil Saudi. It's not Islam. Okay. Do me this favor. Just Google search this female, Naiyera, Naiyera Ashraf. This girl, she was killed, her throat was cut, sliced, slit, because the guy, the Muslim guy who proposed to her, refused. She refused him. So how did he take the rejection? He killed her. Openly. And when the sentencing was there, he said, no, I'm not insane. I'm sane. I'm normal. I'm a normal guy. I wanted to teach her a lesson. She rejected me. Okay. Now you might still say, oh, right, it's not written in Islam. Let's go to the next one. Qandeel Baloch, Qandeel Girl from Pakistan, model, actress, social media, celebrity, and activist. As per Wikipedia, she rose to prominence due to her videos on social network discussing daily routines, rights as a woman Pakistani, and controversial issues. She received media attention in 2013 for her audition in Pakistan Idol, became very popular, became an internet celebrity. She was one of the 10 most searched persons in Pakistan. Okay. During the evening of 15 July 2016, she was strangled to death by her own brother in Multan, Pakistan. Her brother, Wasim Azim, confessed the murder, saying she was bringing disrepute to the family honor. Okay. Again, Islam, Muslim. Okay. Now, here's a question that I was just thinking. You see, in Afghanistan, what happens? Women, they have to be covered. In fact, just do a little bit of Google search. You'll find out that small baby girls as young as 5 or 3 or whatever, they are being married off to these 45, 50-year-old men. Okay. And they quote Islam and they quote the teachings of Islam. Prophet Muhammad, he was 50-year-old. He married a 8, 9-year-old. So what is wrong? We are doing the same thing what our Prophet did. Okay. Then these murders, obviously, they'll not say that Prophet Muhammad told them that or Islam told them that, but they are born and raised in a culture where men are superior. In Pakistan, men are superior. In Iran, men are superior. Saudi, men are superior. Most of these Arab countries. And they follow the Islamic principles of lifestyles. That is why men, they don't have to cover themselves. They wear white. They go proudly. They can interact. Women have to be covered. Women have to be locked up. Women have to backstage. That's why in Saudi, Now they say women doesn't need to take permission to drive or to travel. However, it is still there. I obviously cannot share details, but I do speak to a lot of Muslim women in Arab Muslim countries who tell me that they are lesbian, who tell me that they smoke, drink, that they have an affair, and they want to run away from home. And they can't do that because unless they get the permission of a local guardian, male. Again, these are not made up stories, they are actual clients. And they are afraid. They are afraid they can be killed. Okay. That is why so many of these girls, when they go for a holiday abroad, they just escape, run away, and they seek asylum. And they keep it hush-hush. They don't talk about it. And the family obviously doesn't want to talk about it because it's a matter of shame for them. So they don't want to talk about it. So now, what is the main thing that I'm trying to say? Is it like, oh, Islam is an evil religion and this and that? Or am I trying to bash up all the Muslims and say, yeah, you Muslims are like that? Or I wish I had a answer to the question. I mean, I can go about bashing up all Muslims and say, you Muslims are like that. Oh, Islam is like that. Oh, Prophet Muhammad, this and that. I can go on a rant. But what does it do? The people who hate Islam or the people who hate Muslims, they'll say, hey, law, yes, good, you expose them. The Muslims who are not like that, they would say, Loy, come on, man. All of us are not like that. There are 1 billion Muslims. All of us are not like that. Now, the Muslims who are not like that, they are right. They are not like that. The non-Muslims who don't like Islam or Muslims, they'll say, yeah, see, don't say this doesn't exist. They're also right. See, we need to, get rid of our bias and call a spade a spade. They are right in pointing out specific incidents. The Muslims who are not extremists or don't do all this, they are also right. It's not like all Muslims are, extremists. Like I'll tell you, I just spoke a few days ago. I spoke to one Arab Muslim. Okay, Arab Muslim, I'll not tell you from where. From a holy Arab conservative place. He was asking me about pork, eating pork, and he's casually talking. And he wants to do, I use that mushrooms, smoking, what do you call it? I wish ska or something. I'm not very familiar with those terms. And he has traveled around the world. And, he has his girlfriends and all that. He's not married. He's not young. He's in his 50s. And he talks to me about all this. And if someone makes fun of him and say Islam is terrorist and evil and this, and he does not feel bad. He's like, you're right. There are some people who are evil, who do bad things. He's like that. Now, obviously, not everyone is like him. I know Muslims who have tattooed themselves. I know Muslims who are gay and lesbian. But now the problem is each one is different. Each one is unique. Each one has his own interpretation of Islam. Some would say, if you ask them, why are you smoking, drinking? Islam is a personal choice. It's a lifestyle, he'll say. Some others will say, no, that is wrong. You shouldn't be like that. Then some others will say, no, you have to learn the truth about Islam. You have to follow Islam to the T. Some others, even if you Google search on YouTube, they'll say, how to beat your wife as per Islam. There are so many versions. The problem is religion. No? Everyone has their own interpretation of what religion is. And I think the worst of the lot is not these extremists, are not these people, are the ones who follow the religion, who know this is wrong, but they keep quiet about it. They don't say anything. But if publicly asked, oh, this is very evil, but deep down they'll not criticize. Why? Because they are themselves afraid. Now you can't blame them. They're not bad. But what can they do? It's like, when you talk of Indians, there are so many Indians who know that there are a lot of things which are happening which are bad, but they'll never criticize India. If you bring up rape or if you bring up corruption, they'll say rape happens in this country also, in the US also, in Pakistan also. They'll never say, no, this is wrong. Like, for example, you can check below my videos. Ask a BJP guy, ask a guy who loves and supports BJP, ask him to say one bad thing about BJP. He'll never say. Ask a guy who follows Congress. For that matter, ask a Christian who believes Jesus Christ is real. Ask him to point out a flaw in, the Bible or Christian. He'll say, no. He'll say, it's our religion is perfect. It's human beings who are bad. For that matter, USA, guns. They'll say guns don't kill people. Human beings kill people. So what do? What is the solution? Look, you and I can debate and talk about it till our face turns blue. We can say, oh, a revolution is starting, or this is wrong, or I can only tell you this much, that there are plenty of cases like this. There are plenty of incidents like these. Some which are being reported, but many others which are not being reported. Many. Okay? In some cases, it just gets picked up by social media. In many cases, it doesn't get picked up. Like, for example, let me tell you. We are talking about this girl, right, who died in Iran. Here's a simple question. In Africa, how many small children right now are dying? Like, are you aware of any statistic? How many kids died due to hunger, starvation, or being raped, or being tortured, or their limbs being cut by African mercenaries? Nobody knows. Who cares? Why? Because they are Africans. They're not attractive. They're not like, wow. They're not like look like models. Or they're Africa. Who cares? So why would anyone bother? In fact, the more attention is spent towards the band member of Maroon 5. Oh, he slept with that 23-year-old. If you see that 23-year-old girl, wait, there's an ant here. You see that 23-year-old girl who says, oh, I feel so bad, I slept with your wife. But if you see her Instagram, the clothes that she's wearing only cover the opening between her legs, only that much, and just her nipples. Rest, everything she's showing. So she's the epitome of this goodness. And I feel so bad, I slept with him. Oh. People are more interested in that. People are more interested in Kim Kardashian's see-through dress. Her bra strap came out. Oh, she's so brave. She's so bold. Who's interested in the poor people suffering in Africa? LGBTQ. Oh, Greta Thunberg. Lot of eyeballs. The problem is, even you and me, we are more interested in what we like. We're not interested in these other problems. The fact of the matter is, we just know about this one girl. There are plenty of girls, there are plenty of boys, there are plenty of countries, there are plenty of individuals, plenty of citizens who are going through so much. Syria, how much do you know about Syria right now? Nothing. How much do you know about Africa, the continent and different places? Nothing. How many people have died due to hunger and starvation in Somalia? You're not interested in Zambia or in Uganda. Why should you be bothered? They are Africans. They are black in color. They are skinny, attractive. Wow, let me focus on USA and film actor and actress and attractive people. We are all like that, man. We might, ride this high horse of feeling good about ourselves. Oh, let's protest. I will change my Facebook, profile picture. Support the people. Like, for example, when there were some killings in France, everyone changed their profile picture to France. But at the same time, when it's happening in Syria, nobody cares. Like, for example, when Ukraine are fighting against Russia, they are known as the brave men who are fighting this tyrannical, evil regime of Russia, because Russia took over Ukraine. But when Israel does it to Palestine, the evil Islamists of Palestinian, you see the narrative, how it changes? Funny, right? When Israel takes over Palestinians, Israel is good. Palestinians are evil extremists. See the headlines also. But when Russia takes over Ukraine, Russia is evil. Ukrainians are brave fighters. It's a media narrative, no? What to do? When US kills someone in Iran, we killed a terrorist, we killed a Islamist. But just imagine if Iran would have done that to somebody else. Then it's, terrorists, right? US can have a nuclear, bomb and all that. Iran cannot have. We live in strange times, I'll tell you that. We live in strange times. If US does something, it is our allies, partners. They're brave. But China or Russia or Iran, it's an evil regime, evil. We know so much about what is happening, evil Iran, but Africa, nobody cares. Who knows? You and I know any headlines, CNN, BBC, anyone's reporting, nobody cares. It's funny, It's really funny. What is being highlighted in the news, what people talk about. COVID came and COVID went. Now who's talking about it? Now it's boring, right? Before, remember how much of drama was there? In fact, this is the month of September, 11th September. Oh, the towers fell down. You and I know how many towers caught fire, but the only towers that collapsed free fall was only those 2 towers in the history of mankind. That also 2 jets hitting it. Now you might say because of the jets and the heat, it collapsed, no? What about the 3rd tower, man? Nothing hit it, right? How did it collapse? We live in strange times, I'll tell you that. And whatever narrative they give you, you have to accept it. I'm not saying that this girl didn't die due to police brutality. I'm not saying that. Neither am I saying that that Islam needs a reformation. I'm not saying that it does not. But then let's not ignore this issue. At the same time, let's not be biased and say, oh, it happens also in USA. It also happens with Christians. I think we need to look at one thing at a time and identify this, is it right or wrong? Okay. That's how we need to go about it. Case by case. Not this happened, but you're ignoring that. Okay, let's focus on this. Right or wrong? Okay. Then we take up our next one. Is that right or wrong? I think if we do that, then at least we'll have a fair argument. But like, for example, the rape that happened in India with Nirbhay's case, or these Hindu men who raped, 11 men who raped a girl, and they killed her baby and killed 14 members of her family, 11 or 14 members of her family, whatever. They were released from jail and garlands were put on them as heroes. In India, if you say anything against powerful people, your life will be destroyed. But if you ask someone who supports that government or supports those people, they'll say, what about Pakistan? They'll not address this. What about Pakistan? What about this? So that's the problem. Anyway, I just wanted to share my views and say that I'm not going to say that all Muslims are bad. That is wrong. Or I'm not going to say this problem is only with Islam, which in a way it's true, because Islam is more strict than most other religions. You'll not hear this happening with Christianity. You'll not hear it happening with Jainism. You'll not hear it happening there. Even Hinduism, I've not heard of anyone having to wear a scarf and killed for it. But they get killed for other reasons. I think we all have to hold ourselves accountable to certain standards. And if nothing else, at least have the decency to say, I'm biased towards A, B, C. I'm biased towards them. And no matter what you say, I will always never look at anything wrong with my religion, my political party, my country. Rest, everything fine. That's why there are some, being Indian, I'm telling you, there are some Indians who, rape happens in Pakistan. That problem that happened in UK, Hindus were the ones who initiated the problem. Okay, they went in a Muslim neighborhood where Muslims stay, and they started Jai Shri Ram and all that, or whatever they said. And that is what escalated the problem. And then those Muslim youth, they got angry and they attacked or vandalized a temple. You started the problem. Who started it? Who escalated it? Now that doesn't mean Muslims are innocent or the Hindus are innocent. Hindus in my group, what did they do? They just sent me a nice little statistic JPEG image. The most violent people, first was Christians, second was Muslims, third was Hindus. And they said, see, circle the Hindus. And see, Hindus are peaceful. See, the Muslims at top. But they ignored the Christians were right at the top. As long as this goes on now, you're never going to have peace. You're never going to have a solution to the problem. It's only going to be pointing fingers at each other. And that is where politicians are milking it for all it's worth. And right now, this incident, they are making it such a big issue, also because there is a political twist and angle to it. Don't think it's all for the benefit of mankind. It's sad what happened. It's sad. And it's wrong. But the way they are spinning this, there are a lot of people involved who want to make sure that they achieve their political ambitions by making a big story about this. There are lots of men, women, human beings who are suffering for lots of reasons. But we'll never talk about all of them. We'll only talk about this. What to do? It's sad what happened to this girl, and it's sad what happened to that girl, Katan and what's her name? Naiyera Ashraf and Qandeel Baloch. It'll never stop. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Good, bad, ugly. Give me your thoughts. Do we have a solution to this? I don't think so. Anyway, you guys take care. It's me signing off. Ciao.